And now, our feature presentation.
Hello, gear to you, and welcome to the grand finale of Super Mario Odyssey. Throughout this journey, we've been rescuing Peach, we've been meeting citizens across the various kingdoms, we've been to the moon and back, we've been to the dark side, we've gotten Hint Art, we've saved Peach, over and over and over again. We've played Luigi's Balloon World, and now it's time for the long journey's end. Before we get started, you may notice that this is a pretty long video. We will be going over various different topics throughout the game. So if you're only looking for a specific topic, you can use the timestamps in the description below to look for what you're specifically looking for. But without further ado, let's go. We've been making a lot of progress on this. It certainly took a long time, but I've been working on this gradually in my own time, but now we have one balloon left to find. Now before we get started on that, we did do a Gator stream a little while ago about trying to grind up on the ranks for this, and I think now would be a good time to showcase a highlight montage of that stream. The kingdom is pretty massive, but my problem is that most of the balloons are going to be hidden off in this direction. I didn't mean to start it! I did not mean to start it so soon! I was moving my hands when talking, because that's a habit that I have. Okay. Where do we want the balloon? Where do we want the balloon? I want it over in this direction! Alrighty then. This is gonna be a fun time all around. We don't have a whole lot of time left on the thingies. Let's go this way! Whee! Okay, what I was trying to say is that most of the balloons are hidden off in this direction, but the camera, when you try to center it behind you, it always faces the wall, and I really don't like that. Alright, so let's go this way. What the? What? Huh? What? Huh? 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 What in the... Luigi? Mario kind of went off to the side right there. Okay, alright. Thankfully, we don't have to worry too much about finding them in a row anymore. That's fun. But what happened there? Alrighty then, well, we'll continue onwards. I do not care one bit. I will use that strategy to my advantage. That is a good spot for a balloon. Ah, no! No! I found it and we couldn't get to it because I jumped too close to the overhead thingy. Oh no! That is unfortunate indeed. The rank's gone up! The rank's gone up! Oh, the rank has gone up! Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see what it was. Which one was it? Oh! That is 300! Look at that disgusting number! That's a 3 followed by 2 zeros! That is so many! That is so many! This is gonna take a while! This is gonna take a while! Okay! There have been a lot of Switch games where... I did not let go of the button! We're right there! We're right there! Do you see how close we are to the stupid balloon? Do you see how close we are to the stupid balloon? It is right there, right here in front of us. We could burp on it if we wanted to. Oh, that hurts. It also hurts my throat because I am screaming like a toad. Oh, no. Oh, that hurt my feelings. Wait, where was it again? Where was the stupid balloon? I was on the other side of the wall. It was on the other side of the wall. There we go. Okay. I thought I was on the other side and I was confused for a moment. Nice work, bro. Okay, how much more to the next rank? We are 6 away from the last rank we needed! Look at that! Look at that! Look how close we are! I can taste it! And it tastes like victory! Okay. Almost there. We are almost there. We're almost there. People will come from everywhere because we're almost there. I love that move so much. I looked through all the options that we have available at the moment. I think this one's probably going to be the most fun for us to get for the last balloon in the game. Without further ado, let's go! We've been Pikachu! Come on, let's do this. Let's go, 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 go. Gadget, go. Man, I just love Luigi's Balloon World. And I really like that they do make it only available after you finish the main story, because it really does challenge you what you've learned from the kingdoms so far in the game. So it's a really nice way to just kind of like test everything you know. And this is also a great mode to play as well if you're just looking for power moons in general, because more often than not, people will be hiding the balloons in spots where there's like hidden power moons and stuff. We might not make this. Come on. Come on. Yes! Oh, that was close. That was epic. I'm so happy that was the last balloon we got. Nice work, bro. Here, take these 99 coins as a reward. Congratulations, your rank has gone up. You got 1,250 coins. That's out of this world, bro. You hit the highest rank. Thanks for playing my game so much. It means a lot to me. Now, you keep playing Balloon World, okay? Oh, just look at that beautiful, beautiful 100% completion. This takes a lot of grinding to do, but I love Luigi's Balloon World. We did it. Alright. That's out of the... There we go. Next up, let's talk about some more hint art. So we did showcase all the ones you can get with power moons and things like that. There's actually a bunch of other things of hint art in the game that we haven't really talked about at all in our adventure so far. So, after this game's release, Nintendo started posting hint art on Twitter, of all things, showcasing some additional secrets in the game. These ran from, I believe, March to November of 2018, and we'll be highlighting all of them right now. You don't get any power moons or anything like that, but you do get something kind of cool. So if you look on the corner of the screen, you'll see the hint art that was posted as well as the day that it was uploaded, or maybe not, just verbalize that. But somewhere around here, 8-bit Luigi! Ah, it's an 8-bit Luigi, and he gives us 200 coins! I believe he only give you 10 coins if you find the same 8-bit Luigi and things like that. Wait, he spins? I never knew he could spin! Oh, he can spin! Oh, this is my favorite thing ever now! Oh, this is so cool! Okay. So I was originally just gonna gloss over this, but then I thought, you know what, we've already made it this far, we've already did all the grinding for Luigi's Balloon World, we are going to do a little bit more grinding to showcase the last of these hint arts, because this is the very last thing that we haven't talked about yet, so we are gonna do this, darn it. So despite everything that I've learned about this game over the course of making this Let's Play, there's still one thing that I just cannot find a definitive answer to. I did mention earlier that as far as I know, the hint art power moons don't spawn until after you look at the hint art itself. I think that is the case, but things like this, where they're just more like hidden characters and things like that, I don't know what triggers these exactly. They might have been added in as an update later, but the thing that's really confusing me about that is that there was one post I saw that said that they came across a hidden Luigi sprite before the updates were happening. I don't know if they were being honest or anything like that. I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but that might be the case as well. So, if that is the case, it's entirely possible that there might be a bunch of other things in the game as well, because I do know that there are 4 hint art locations that are still in the game's code, but never end up getting used. Maybe they were intended for an update later that just never happened or anything like that, but it might have been the case. I'm not entirely sure. If I had to guess, I would have guessed probably they were added as an update for the game after Luigi's Balloon World happened. Now, before we do anything else, I just want to point this out because we're probably not going to get a chance to show this ever again. But let's look at this real quick. You see the hint toad right here? You see him looking at a map? You may be looking at that and you may be wondering, wait, hold on, which kingdom is that? That is Bob-omb Battlefield! That's the layout from Bob-omb Battlefield from Super Mario 64 DS. Oh man, like I'm still learning new things about this game, and I'm probably gonna be learning a bunch of things after the Let's Play is over. But when I found that out, I had the biggest smile on my face because, man, is that such a good reference. I guess continuing on from the previous thing, there's also a Mario Sunshine reference hidden on the Odyssey itself. So I'm gonna try to word this in a way that's basically easy to understand, but for this to make sense, most 3D objects in a video game have multiple layers of textures to them, and I believe for this specific thing, it's for the bump map layer, and that's basically the layer that kind of adds adds bumps and things like that. I don't know exactly how easy it'd be able to see here, but if you ever look at the globe on the Odyssey and you notice that there's a bump there that doesn't really match up with anything else, then that's because the map was originally going to feature Al Delfino on it. This ended up getting removed in the final game. The bump map is still there. That never got patched out. So if you're looking at specific angles and things like that, you can still see the bump map of Al Delfino on the globe map. I think it's also visible on one of the, like, UI maps you'll see on a loading screen or something like that. I'm not entirely sure if that's still the case, but yeah, Al Delfino is going to get a reference in this game, and that makes me think of this one really big rumor that was spreading around the time this game was released. So around this time, like a little bit, like shortly after the game's release, there was a big theory that there was like a big rumor that Al Delfino was going to be DLC for Super Mario Odyssey. This never actually happened, and I think it was proven as a fake later. It was like one of those really well done leaks that people can do because people know how to 3D model and things like that. It's cool and all, but I gotta say, I really don't like it when things like that happen. I just find it more annoying than anything else. Because it gives people hope that things are going to be a thing, but they don't happen, and then people get mad because a thing that was never promised in the first place never happened. That's a big tangent I could go on for a long time, but let's move on to the next one. So the next, I don't know what to say power, but the next hint art thing is going to be located over here. So you can see on the picture that there are the 2 floating triangles. The little one is the island that you get from the little island that you'd get from the painting thingy. I'm not good with words right now. The painting that you'd take to get to this kingdom from another place to get a power moon and things like that. Yeah, underneath that island there's gonna be another hidden Luigi. Wooded Kingdom. The interesting thing about this Let's Play is that before this series started, I didn't mind the Wooded Kingdom that much, but as I've continued the Let's Play, I've realized I just really do not care for the Wooded Kingdom at all. It's a really confusing level to navigate, and the music is annoying. I'm sorry, but it is. I know I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I just really don't care that much for the music in this place. For the next hidden Luigi, and a word like that, it kind of sounds like it's like looking for hidden Mickeys at a Disney park or something like that. We want to go over this way, and it's not that one, it's... There we go. Yay, Luigi, yay! And moving on to better, brighter things. Oh, I love the Lake Kingdom. This place is so underrated. I'd be willing to bet that this is probably the most underrated kingdom in the entire game. Because, yeah, it has its fans, but for the underwater levels, most people will talk about the Seaside Kingdom, and that's a great place too. But I love this one so much. It's such a nice, wholesome place to go to. I'd love to visit this place in real life at some point, if it did exist in real life. Where is this next one? Ah, I see, says the Pancake Armor Man. Whee! Whee! Spinny Luigi! Spinny Luigi! The Cloud Kingdom. Interesting thing I learned about this recently. The Cloud Kingdom was originally going to be a lot bigger. Well, maybe not exactly bigger, but they had a couple more ideas for it to make it at least on the same league as like the Lost Kingdom or something like that. They're originally going to have like a mountain range filled with the clouds and things like that. And that was going to be like the big identity of this world. But eventually it just became like a more simplistic looking like battle arena thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like not every kingdom needs to be like a big grand epic thing. But it still would have been interesting if there was just a little bit more to this kingdom, and especially the Ruined Kingdom. I really wish there was more to that place. But this area is just so pretty. This is such a pretty game. So I mentioned before that the Lost Kingdom makes me think of the Jungle Cruise, and this is making me want to tell a fun story that happened last time I went on there. So this last skipper that I saw on there, she was probably my favorite skipper that I'd ever seen on Jungle Cruise. Like, wow, like, she told not only all my favorite jokes on there, but she told a new one that I'd never heard before, and it might be my favorite one that I've ever heard on the ride. So, there's a part where the hippos are going by, and the skippers usually have a joke to scare off the hippos, and the skipper said something along the lines of, "Alright, we got some hippos over here, I'm gonna scare them off the same way that I scared off my last ex-boyfriend. I love you!" That's like forever burned in my brain. It's one of my favorite things ever right now. Okay, where is this next one? It's around here somewhere. This one always confuses me. I shouldn't say always because it's my first time ever trying to get this. Is it on the other one? It's on the other one. There we go. First try. Easy game. Easy. Too easy. I'm always gonna have like a fond memory of this place because I told the story already in the Let's Play, but Beanie and I would play through this game like back and forth, and she made it pretty far into the game, but I don't think she ever made it further into the game beyond Metro Kingdom. And I'd always try to tell her, dude, there's more stuff in the game after this, and there's gonna be a lot more that opens up after you like do things. And it's like, no, I like the Metro Kingdom. I don't want to move on to anything else. It's always really amusing seeing her play this game. Okay, so I think I'm around here. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, I was right. So, somewhere in this intersection. There it is. Luigi, yay! Let's block traffic together! Except nah, because we have other more regional coins to find and stuff. Also, I just realized I haven't been actually saying the dates that these paint arts became available, so I guess I will just have a caption on screen for all that. Whee! Whee! GameCube! 3DS! And around here is the next hint art. Random fun fact, this pool is going to be a bit steeper, but they made it a little bit more shallow in the final version for some reason. Owie, that was a fence. That hurt my face. Fence does not go in face. Keep a note of that, everybody. It will be on the test. How does face planting into a fence hurt you, but face planting into a pavement from like 200 feet high doesn't do anything? I don't know. I won't question logic in this game. Let it snow, let it snow. Can't hold me back anymore. Let it snow, let it snow. We're falling off a cliff. So, I don't know if I can show this in a video, but one of my favorite things in the world is that, like a few months ago, my baby niece would start singing Let It Go. And she'd always put her own little heart into it. It was super cute and wholesome. But the last time that I saw her do that, she would also, like, act out alongside with the rest of the song. Like, she would do the same motions that Elsa would do, and it was just one of the most cute, wholesome things in the entire world. Alright, so I think this is the right spot. This might seem a little dangerous to do. Where is Luigi? Where is Luigi? Where is Luigi? Where is Luigi? Where is he? I think I figured out what I'm doing wrong. I figured it out with my brain. That's the thing inside your head. So, the hint art depicts a Gucci looking at the shadow of the beanstalk. And we can use this as a visual reference. Hopefully this doesn't despawn if we die again. I was looking at the wrong thing. Ah, I see, says the pancake armor man. Should be around here somewhere. Where is it? Where are you, Luigi? Where is Luigi? Where is the man? Where is the myth? Where is the legend? Where is he? I don't see him anywhere, and I'm getting pissed off now. Wait, what was that? That was not Luigi! That was not Luigi! Wait, what was that? Oh, we gotta do the beanstalk thing again, but what was that? I need to see that again! I know I can frame by frame that in editing, but it's gonna be a little while when I'm recording. I wanna see it now! That's Captain Toad! Oh, that's Captain Toad! Oh, that makes me happy! That makes me happy! I love Captain Toad! Okay. So, I know that was a thing. I didn't think it was still a thing, though. Alright, I'll look more into this in editing. I put a caption on screen, but that makes me happy! Okay, so when Captain Toad Treasure Tracker got a Switch port, all the Luigis in the game became Captain Toad pixels. I didn't know they were still in the game. That's awesome! Okie dokie, this one is kind of gonna be a big pain. So we're gonna be surrounded by seaweed jerks, and that's not gonna be pleasant at all. If you have a Cheep Cheep with you, you can defeat them. They won't go away forever, but at least give you a little bit of leeway to hopefully conquer your destiny. But the area we want to go towards is going to be the one with the regional coins. And hopefully this will work out okay. Okay, we got rid of them. Let's do this. Ow, where'd you go, babe? Hey, we found you! Yay, woohoo, yay! Let's teleport out of the water before we do a drown. I'd rather not do a drown. I like being alive. Oh, the Luncheon Kingdom. I've spent way too much time here. I like this place and all. It's one of my favorite kingdoms in the game. But I did spend, like, probably a good majority of the playthrough here, simply because this is where I spent most of the time playing Luigi's Balloon World at. I'm just gonna say that right now. But the next hint art is gonna be located on this one. Yeah, we found Luigi again. The second hint art in the Luncheon Kingdom is gonna be located over on this island. If you were to go into the pipe, you would see the location that you could see on the hint art. And around here somewhere is where we're gonna want to ground pound. There we go. How's it going, man? The ruined kingdom, there's a dragon and it's super cool. I wish this kingdom, the ruined kingdom, had more stuff to do. Oh, that's what— Ah, it's Captain Toad again! Ah! That was the noise the Pixel was making. Do you spin too? Ah, you spin too! You spin my head round, I'm sorry, this just makes me super happy. Oh, I love that so much. And I especially like that he's here with the dragon, because Dragadon is a thing in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Man, I love that game. I hope they make a Captain Toad 2 someday. I would love to see a Captain Toad Treasure Tracker sequel. They do have Dragadon and Paper Mario Color Splash, but I don't want to play Color Splash. I want to play a good game. Peach, you're so cool. And with my star, we're gonna rule. Peach, understand. I'm gonna love you till the very end. Peaches, 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 oh yeah. Mario, Luigi, and a Donkey Kong too. 1,000 troops of Koopas gonna keep me from you. Princess Peach, at the end of the line. I'll make you mine. Peaches! Peaches! Peach! And now for the final hint art. In hindsight, I probably could have had this in the regular Found with Hint Art episode, but I think it probably is also pretty fitting here as well, because it gave us a chance to go see every kingdom in the game one final time before we end off this adventure. And I don't know, that just seems like something like super nostalgic and nice feeling. So around here is the final Luigi. Oh, we are super duper close. I say that, but we still have a good chunk of the video left. Alright, so the next segment for the video, we're going to be going for every regional coin in the game. So have fun watching it, because this next segment easily took the longest amount of time to edit. I'm not joking, this thing took me like 3 weeks to edit. If you've been watching the Let's Play, you probably heard about the fact that I've talked about how time-consuming it is to edit. Yeah, this regional coin segment is the reason why. And now moving on to the segment that definitely took the longest to edit. I'm just gonna say that right now. Over the course of the Let's Play, I've been saying that Super Mario Odyssey probably has one of the most time-consuming editing process that I've had for a Let's Play in a very long time. And the big reason for that is because not only did I keep timestamps for every Power Moon in the Let's Play, so that we can have them in the video descriptions, but also because I kept timestamps for every regional coin that we collected as well. So you can imagine every time we were playing through the game and I'd see a regional coin, I'd pause it, make a note for it, and then to continue onwards. So yeah, that certainly took a lot of time and effort. And also, not just that, but also that they ended up having to re-record some of these regional coins too. So for the Cap Kingdom, for example, I didn't keep track of these regional coins, and by then I felt it was like a little too late, so I thought it was easier to just re-record this kingdom. But most of the other ones were taken from previous episodes, so you may see a couple things here and there, like a dialogue box going away, or maybe some footage is a little bit blurry. You might also see some visual glitches from episodes that had them as well. So I do apologize for those moments. But without further ado, let's collect every regional coin in the game. Now as we do this, we're going to be talking about the game's development history, as well as sharing some random fascinating trivia as well. So, I mentioned before that I wasn't quite sure whether or not Mario Odyssey was ever in development for the Wii U. I looked further into this and found that that was never the case. Super Mario Odyssey began development in 2013, shortly after the release of 3D World. And right from the beginning, the development team knew that they wanted this next big Mario game to not only be a launch title for the next console, but they wanted to play a key part in developing the system itself, similar to what Super Mario 64 did with the Nintendo 64 and Super Mario Galaxy did with the Wii. So for things like this, they wanted to include motion controls, and that's a big reason why the Joy-Cons kind of feel like a step up from a Wii remote. And when they were experimenting with the different kinds of motion controls they wanted to use for the game, they found that a throwing gesture was the most satisfying and felt like a natural evolution to shaking the Wii remote to make Mario spin from Galaxy. And when they were trying to figure out what Mario could throw, they figured Mario throwing his hat would be the most satisfying visually. and this led to the creation of Cappy, and eventually also led to the creation of the capture mechanic. Now, the capture mechanic actually started off as a separate thing, where they were experimenting the idea of Mario taking control of another character, and they figured combining this with the idea of throwing the hat would be a really satisfying gameplay loop. And it really is. It's really one of the most satisfying things in the entire game. Like, I remember my first playthrough, I was really curious to see what all I could capture. Like, could I capture this enemy? What happens if I do that? It's one of the most satisfying feelings whenever you play through this game the first time. And I really hope this does return in a future Mario game, because it really does kind of feel like a Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom moment, where you're familiar with the previous world, but then you get to see what's changed, and just, it's a really interesting thing that I really would love to see them do with a future Mario game at some point. Now, continuing on from how Mario Odyssey shaped into the Switch itself, not only did it play a key role in the development of the Joy-Cons, but Koizumi specifically wanted the Joy-Cons to have HD Rumble in them because he wanted to use them in Odyssey. Now, HD Rumble was something that Nintendo was experimenting with a little bit, but they weren't quite sure if they were going to be implemented in the next console. But Koizumi saw the concept and really wanted to implement it into Odyssey. And it's difficult to put into words just how satisfying HD Rumble can really be in these games, because it's really something you have to experience for yourself. Now, I do know that I think the PlayStation 5 has a similar system with their DualSense. I haven't tried that myself, so I don't know how good it is compared to the Switch HD Rumble, but man, HD Rumble probably is one of my favorite things about the Joy-Cons in general, because whenever you're playing through a level like this, it requires you to look through something buried in the sand. You can feel the rumble shaking just ever so slightly more as you get closer to it. You can feel the water ripples in the Joy-Con as well. It's just one of the most satisfying things whenever you're playing through this game. And I did have the HD Rumble turned off for the most part during the Let's Play because I didn't want the vibration to pick up on the microphone. But, man, it's just one of the most fun things in the entire game. It is a bit of a shame that not a whole lot of other Switch games really push the HD Rumble like this game does. Now, One to Switch is obviously probably the best game that uses this because that game was made entirely around Joy-Cons, so yeah, it probably is going to be the best game to use HD Rumble. Especially that one game where you're playing ball count and you can like feel the individual little marbles inside the controller. It's so much fun. Now, as for Mario Odyssey itself, one big thing about this game compared to the previous 3D Mario games was that around the Wii and Wii U era, it really did seem like Mario was just doing nothing but catering to casual fans. And while we did have amazing games like Mario Galaxy and things like that, this was also the era where there were like 4 new Super Mario Bros. Games in the span of a few years or so. And it just kind of felt like the lesser known Mario characters were just being less and less used. We weren't seeing them as often, and it just kind of seemed like every Mario game out there had to follow the same basic formula. And Paper Mario really is where we saw this at its worst, where there's just nothing unique about those games outside of the paper aesthetic, but even then, it got old pretty quickly. So maybe you're wondering, what changed with that? Well, Mario Odyssey, when they were developing this game, after finishing 3D World, the developers really wanted to go back to a sandbox-style gameplay. And around this time, Miyamoto had gotten a promotion at Nintendo to where he was more so like an advisor role. He was less hands-on with actually developing the games and was promoted to being the creative fellow for Nintendo. This was more so him kind of like doing things like talking to Universal about the development of the Super Mario Bros. Movie or Super Nintendo World or things like that. So he was a bit more hands-off with actual Nintendo development. Now, I'm not saying Miyamoto is completely to blame for Mario focusing more so on the casual crowd. I think it was great for Mario to focus on that for a while because the Wii really was a casual console. And so having more simplistic games like that really was the market for the system at the time. But nowadays, especially around the time the Switch was coming out, people were begging for like more creative Mario games. And the sandbox style definitely did go in the step right direction with that. But the big problem with that, though, is that if they didn't want to make another game like 3D World, what would they do with the camera? They were originally going to keep it as a linear camera, even if the environments themselves were going to be more open. But the big reason for that was because they were worried if the players could control the camera, it'd be too confusing for younger players. They weren't quite sure how well they could handle it, because like even though it may seem silly, keep in mind that the last game that had a free-moving camera control was Super Mario Sunshine on the GameCube. So yeah, it had been a little while. Now, Nintendo was going to keep the camera restricted in this game too, but then they saw just how fun it was in Minecraft of all games. So yeah, if you ever want to put one game as the inspiration for Mario Odyssey, kind of going back to the sandbox roots, Minecraft! It's just, whenever I say that, it's just one of the silliest things ever. Like, I'm not that big into Minecraft, but I do respect it, what it's done for the industry, and it is one of the most important games out there. But I just find it so funny that the reason why Mario went back to being more creative and having more open structure was because of Minecraft of all things. Now, it does make sense. They were doing experiments on the game's development for the first couple years, and in 2015, that's when Minecraft for Wii U was released, and that had the Super Nintendo, and had the Super Mario Brothers pack. So it does make sense that their eyes were a bit more focused on Minecraft itself, and they saw how easy it was for kids to control the camera in that game. So, yeah. Thank you, Minecraft. Now, a couple other things that are interesting about this game's development. Now, we were in the Metro Kingdom a moment ago, and that leads to some very interesting, fun little trivia facts about the Metro Kingdom. So, the big reason why Pauline made her grand return to the Mario series was because tourism was a big key with the world of this game, but they also wanted players to have a sense of familiarity. So, with the Metro Kingdom, they wanted to put Mario in an environment that he had never been in before, something strange and interesting, which was the reason why they placed him in like a super hyper-realistic looking human world. But putting Pauline in there still made it seem familiar to Mario fans, and it gave you like a bit of a sense of familiarity just in general. And it's interesting because as they were developing Pauline's character, she gradually grew more into a musician-type character, which is the big reason why Jump Up Superstar became a thing. And I'm really happy they did, because Jump Up Superstar really is just one of the best songs out there for the Mario series, probably in Nintendo history in general. Like, I told the story before, but I'll tell it again. But the big reason why I decided let's play this game when I did was because sometime during like the spring or so last year in 2022, I was going through a really difficult time, and long story short, things were not going the way that I was hoping they were, and somebody wasn't exactly treating me properly. So there was a day where I just wanted to take a break from it all and just went to Disney Springs to go watch a movie and just take my mind off things. And on the bus ride over there, I'm playing through my Switch and trying to figure out what games I'm going to play, because it's like an hour-long bus ride over there. And I played through Mario Odyssey again. The level that the save file was on Jump Up Superstar, the festival for that, and that's my favorite moment in the main story. So just seeing through all that again and reliving my favorite Mario moments ever, it was a really great experience. And at that point, I was already thinking, okay, Mario Odyssey is pretty great. I think I might want to try to make videos on this pretty soon. And then after that, when I got to Disney Springs, they usually have concerts playing in front of the theater. The band that was playing was just so happy to be playing Jump Up Superstar. And when I saw that, that was the moment that I decided I had to Let's Play Mario Odyssey this year. So, yeah, I know I talked a lot about the story already, but man, like, Mario Odyssey really is just one of the most important games to me. But going back to Metro Kingdom itself, now, we did mention before Pauline's role in the game, but the entire Metro Kingdom itself has a pretty interesting history of the Mario series as well, because this is actually the first time that the Metro Kingdom has appeared in a Mario game. In Donkey Kong 94, which, by the way, this is probably one of the best Game Boy games out there. On Donkey Kong 94, there's a world in that game based on, like, it's called, like, the Big City or something like that. And the manual says that this is the city that the original Donkey Kong took place in. They also say the same thing about the Metro Kingdom as well, which basically confirms that that big city in Donkey Kong 94 is the Metro Kingdom. Isn't that just the coolest thing ever? Like, this game already has, like, so many amazing callbacks to previous Mario games, but to have, like, an obscure reference like that, it's so cool. Donkey Kong 94 really is one of my, I want to say it's one of my favorite games out there, but it's a pretty fun one. I won't spoil it for people who haven't tried that game out for themselves, but if you think it's more, if you think it's not much more than just a Donkey Kong game on Game Boy, try it for yourself if you ever get the chance. I really hope it does come to Switch Online at some point, because it is a really fun game. Now, continuing on for the Metro Kingdom just a little bit longer, there is one other character who was meant to appear in the Metro Kingdom who unfortunately didn't make it into the final game. Rosalina from Super Mario Galaxy was originally going to be a street musician for the game. She's going to have like a bit of like a rock star aesthetic with an electric guitar, and she was going to play music on the streets. And just, I really wish this was a thing. Because I love Rosalina. She's like the best Mario waifu out there. And I love Pauline as well. But, man, I really wish Rosalina was in this game. She just looks so epic in this Rockstar getup too. You can just imagine like all the awesome cosplays that would have spawned had this. Well, I'm sure there are still Rosalina cosplays who've done this as well. But can you imagine how awesome that would have been? To have like Pauline and Rosalina playing music together. That would have just been so cool. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. There's also a couple other interesting things about the development history of this game as well. So, going to a bit of a spoiler territory for a bit, the final boss for this game was originally going to be very different. And this requires a bit of an explanation, but basically, we see Mario with Cappy, but we also see Bowser with the robotic hat punching thingy that he wears throughout the game. We don't really get an explanation for exactly what that is. We don't know if it's a monitor or just something that he made himself. I want to say that it was a gift from the Brutals. I don't think this is canon, but my assumption was that this came from the Brutals. I don't know exactly where I got that theory from, but like, that's just my personal theory on where that came from. But originally, it was going to be an evil monitor. And the Bowser and Evo Monitor were going to be the main antagonists of the game. But in the final game, it just became like a robot hat thingy. It's not really connected to the monitors at all or anything like that. And I'm glad that they went this direction, because the monitors, they're really just like a super cute, wholesome species for the Mario series. So it would have been interesting to see them evil, but I think I would have preferred if they did that in a spin-off, like, I don't know, like a Paper Mario game or something like that. But it was a pretty interesting idea. But with Bowser teaming up with a monitor, this would have implied that he'd be able to capture things too. And the original final boss for Super Mario Odyssey would have had Bowser capturing Peach. Bowsette was this close to being canon. They were this close to glory. Oh man, I'm so sad this didn't happen, because like that would have been the coolest thing ever. To have Princess Peach be the final boss of a mainline Mario game would have been mind-blowing. Now, the final boss for this game is still really cool, and I still stand by my opinion. I think it might be one of the best things in the entire Mario series ever. But can you imagine how shocking it would have been for Peach to be the final boss in this game? I don't know, maybe some Mario game in the future, maybe like a remake or something, might have something like that too. Cough, 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 cough. Anyway, let's move on. But yeah. Bowsette was this close to being canon. And the funny thing about this is that this game came out like a year or so before New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. And that's the game where the whole Bowsette thing really started from. For those of you who don't know, Bowsette is the fan theory that because like a New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, there's a Super Crown, which only Toadette can use. This turns Toadette into Peachette. And there's a theory out there that if Toadette could turn into Peachette, what would happen if other characters used him? So Bowsette using the Super Crown turns into Bowserette. I think there's some other ones, like a Chain Chomp version and a Boo version. I think the Boo version is probably one of my personal favorites. But, man, the fact that Nintendo themselves had a Bowsette idea that almost happened, that just would have been really interesting. But we have almost gotten the last of the regional coins in the game. So, I know I said this before, but it just bears repeating again. I just love the design for the regional coins in general, because each kingdom had its own different version of them. Like, we see the Cascade Kingdom had, like, the stone rock circly thingies. The ones here kind of look like star bits. It's really cool. This really is just one of the most wholesome games out there to play in general. It's always really great when you have like a simple, fun Mario game out there that you can just have fun with. And this definitely is one of the most fun Mario games out there. That might seem like a pretty generic statement to say about like a video game in general, but just having like a pure, fun, wholesome experience for a video game is truly a magical experience, especially one like this that you can continue replaying over and over again. Because Mario Odyssey, I've replayed through this game probably more times than any other 3D Mario game aside from maybe 3D Land, but each time I play through this game, I learned something new about it, and I've learned a lot of new things about this game over the course of this Let's Play, and I'm probably going to be replaying through it a couple more times after the Let's Play is over, even though we've done everything in this game already. But this really is one of the most wholesome Mario experiences out there, and I'm very glad that it exists. One of the things that I really like about just playing this game in general is they really did cater this game towards the ability of being able to play a docked or handheld, because they have the story moments that are epic to play on the TV. But all the Power Moons, you can get so many of them in such a short amount of time. It really is a really fun handheld game to play as well, because you can just play through the game for a little bit and see how many Power Moons you can get while waiting online for, I don't know, like Taco Bell, DoorDash, or something like that. And with all that being said, let's enjoy the music as we collect the last of the regional coins. Try playing with detached Joy-Con controllers. No, you try playing with detached Joy-Con controllers. Stupid loading screen thing you tell me how to live my life. This is a very fitting costume for the time of year. Now, we're going to be sidetracking it just a little bit in this already hour-long video, because this is the perfect time for that. But there's a couple other miscellaneous topics I'd like to discuss that don't really fit in anywhere else in the video. First of all, let's go into the accent guide, because this might be interesting. So in here, we can see the different control options throughout the game. There's also the basic accents, the capture accents, and the bonus travel tips. Those might be useful if you ever need them, but what we'll be taking care of is, as soon as I can find it, there we go. So if we go into assist mode, you get a permanent thing in the corner telling you, hey, look, loser, you're playing assist mode. Bah! So, what this does, if you fall off the edge of the earth, you get a magic bubble! And if you stand still, you automatically restore your health as well. Now, I'm a bit too far into the game's story on this playthrough to show this off, but if we were to go through a story objective, then there'd be arrows on the ground that'll tell you which way to go as well. That could be pretty useful if you're stuck. I'll have a picture of that on screen right now. But yeah, that's pretty much everything in assist mode. Now, assist mode probably isn't going to be all that helpful for the more experienced players out there, but if you're a younger kid and you want to try playing out this game, but you're not quite good at games yet, this can definitely be a good way to help you out if you ever need the help. Now, something I'd like to touch on real quick is this menu. So, We have almost all the captures in the game. We got all the souvenir lists we got all the souvenirs that we can get from the shops throughout the world. So the music, you might be missing a couple of them because some of them will only appear after you complete the Jamming with Toad missions, or if you see a jukebox, you can throw your hat on there to trigger some Japanese versions of the songs as well. Those might be the ones you're missing. The capture ones, this happens every single time I play through this game. There's always these exact two that I always forget about. So the first one, the easiest location is going to be inside this moon pipe near the Wooded Kingdom, because the poison piranha plants, you can capture them. I always forget about this. So yeah, what you want to do, you can have the piranha plant eat the rock, and then after that, then you'll be able to capture the poison piranha plant. These enemies are kind of rare, you don't see them a whole lot, and I always forget that you can have them eat the rock and then throw Cappy. Honestly, they're not very useful. It's a cool capture, mind you. It's pretty interesting, but honestly, they're just not really that useful. And over in the Luncheon Kingdom, there is a fire piranha plant. Same capture method as before. Have him eat a rock, and then you can capture him. This one is what feels a little bit more useful, especially for the ones where you have to light the lanterns and things like that. Now that I think about it, that probably would have been a better time to show off this capture, but in my defense, I forgot about it. Now we have every capture in the game! I know most of these are just like one and done things for specific power moons, but I love most of these. They're just super fun, I just love them so much. I think Bowser definitely is my favorite one in the game, but these are all just so much fun for their own reasons. I think honestly probably the Knuckle Check's fist is my favorite of them all, because you literally get to use this to make a boss fight punch himself in the face. I think the concept of that is just really funny. But the Goomba is probably like my favorite visually looking one, because it's just super satisfying seeing a Goomba with a mustache. All in all, pretty good captures. They're not really like any singular captures I just don't like at all. Like, yeah, the Piranha Plant isn't all that useful and I forget about it all the time, but it's still a really interesting one, so yeah, there's not really any captures that I really don't like in this game. Something worth mentioning about the shops in this game. So the highest amount of power moons that the game will display to you in your collection will be 999, but the game itself actually keeps track of way more than that. I don't remember the exact numbers off the top of my head, but we'll see the caption on screen right now. But I believe it's possible to exceed somewhere around the vicinity of 1200 power moons if you buy enough power moons in the shops where they won't give you anymore. But yeah, you have 997. If you put a 1 in the front of that, that's 1997. That's the year I was born. Yay! With all that taken care of, we have one more destination left to go to. Long Journey's End. You can see all the friends that we've made across the way gathered here together for our final adventure. Here in Darker Side at the Komina Crater, it's truly the culmination of all of our work. Go Mario! Jump, man! This is such a great build up to the final level. Just seeing everybody that we've seen on our adventure, and Pauline cheering us on, with a destination just up ahead. I love this place. Hey, Ravi again. You call me fat? Alright, so if we look into the menu real quick, we only have one power moon in our adventure. If you'd like to look at the information for Darker Side, you can pause the video on your own time if you'd like to see this for yourself. So that's pretty interesting. I believe I've showcased all of these throughout the Let's Play, so it's really hard to believe this is the end, but here we go. Okay, I've been here for a little while, and by a little while I mean an hour, so that's fun. I didn't remember this level being super difficult, but I guess I'm wrong about that. So, as we go across this area, I would just like to point out something funny about the Goombas. I don't remember if I've ever mentioned this before, mostly because I didn't learn about this until recently, but even though the game itself, you can, I think the maximum amount of Goombas you can stack normally is like 20 or 30 or something like that. The game is actually programmed to allow you to stack up to 200 Goombas. And when I learned that, I immediately wanted to know what it looked like. I haven't been able to find a picture of that yet, but if I could find a picture, I'll happily show that in the video. Because I just love how the Goombas look when they're stacking in general. Because if you especially have it like this, it looks like they stretched out the model, and it's just really funny to look at. I would just love to see 200 Goombas stacked. Is that too much to ask? But yeah, this is Darker Side, the final level of Super Mario Odyssey. You don't need to beat the robot jerk over there, but it can give you a life up part, which can be pretty useful for what's coming up. I don't think the first part of this level is all that difficult, but it definitely does have some challenging moments we'll be seeing over the course of our adventure. Now, this isn't the first instance of a super difficult post-game level in the Mario series. Mario Galaxy had the Grand Finale Galaxy, which, at the time that I'm recording this video, we have not shown that in the Let's Play yet, and that's gonna bug me forever. But that level wasn't super difficult, it was just more so like a, hey, this is the last level in the game, it's super epic and awesome. Now, Galaxy 2, on the other hand, had the Grandmaster Galaxy, which had the perfect run, which is very difficult. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. And also, we just completely wasted the life up part because I was stupid. So, yeah, that's a great sign for this run. Mario 3D Land also had a similar final level at the end of the game. It wasn't very difficult at all. I remember being kind of disappointed that it was super easy. But it was still a pretty fun level anyway. And I don't remember anything about the 3D World final level aside from bits and pieces I remember from the Run Guys Let's Play. I don't think I ever actually got it myself, because I think the requirements for it require you to get at least one flagpole for every character. Not the golden flag, but at least one flag for every character. I've never done that for the Switch version, and I really did not want to do that on Wii U, because back then I didn't really like the game that much. But maybe in the future I'll eventually get around to taking care of that level and stuff like that. Now, Darker Side, this definitely has some of its challenging moments, but I think it might be the most fun one to just play in general, because there's a lot of ways you can cheese the levels and the segments in this level, which we'll be demonstrating as time goes on. We'll go over this way, careful with that, and whatever you like about this area is just the music in general. We get to hear some of the different soundtrack throughout the game. There's one exception which we'll be getting into in a moment, but for the most part I like most of the songs in this level, so that's kind of cool. For this, you want to be careful. You can go on that and do this. Yeah, we did it! Okie dokie! There's also a heart up here if you want it. And I really like that those things are kind of like a reference to Super Mario Land, because in that game, you couldn't tell the difference between a walnut mushroom and a super mushroom, so they just changed one of them to a heart instead of a mushroom. Because the original Super Mario Land was on a Game Boy, which was in black and white. Black and White is a Pokemon game. Alright, so this area right here, I always want to see if it's possible to long jump in a way. You can get through it without touching the fuzzies or taking damage. Or going through the water, which we didn't quite do there, but it was pretty close, so yeah, I'll say good enough. Alright, so this area right here, we get to play with Yoshi! Yeah, Yoshi! If and when they ever make the Mario Brothers movie sequel, I would love to see... I'm gonna really laugh if, like, Yoshi's in the movie and he just has, like, a regular voice. Because at the end of the first Mario Brothers movie, Yoshi does somewhat make an appearance, but he has the regular Yoshi sound effect, so it'd be really funny if he had the Yoshi sound effect then, and then in the next movie, he sounds like, I don't know, like, I can't think of actor names off the top of my head, like Johnny Depp or whatever, like, Johnny Depp voicing Yoshi. That would actually be really funny. Can somebody, like, do a video edit of Pirates of the Caribbean, but replace Jack Sparrow with Yoshi? But there's a Sphinx over here. How you doing, man? You're not going to talk to us as we're Yoshi? Okay, there we go. Greetings, traveler. Into your hat as well. What about Yoshi? Can you answer my riddle? What is the only kingdom that I, the Great Sphinx, have not visited? I don't believe you're in the Mushroom Kingdom. Dear giver of the correct answers, take this with you. Hey, we got another life up heart. That's pretty convenient. That makes me a little worried about what's coming up, though, so that might not bode well for our continued existence of being an alive person. That was a run-on sentence if I ever just say so myself. So, yeah. Also, this is my first attempt at this, so that's why I'm actually doing somewhat decently at this opening part. But going forward, it's gonna suck! Wandering traveler and hat buddy, were you intimidated by my intense scholarly aura? What I noticed, you have now answered a question correctly in all the lands. Time for the big finish. Let's go. Which of these unique attributes do I not possess? Sand resistance, waterproofness, gardening skills, zero gravity adepts. I'm gonna say gardening skills. You're a smart one, aren't you? But this isn't over yet. You think I'm going to tell you right away, like I usually do, so you can just try again. You're dead wrong, so buckle up. Next question. What do we remember most about your adventures through all the kingdoms? My splendid stash. Talking to a sphinx. A strange talking hat. The Sand Kingdom. I'm going to say my... I want to say my splendid stash, but... just to be nice, let's say talking to a sphinx. I wonder if that is true, flattering traveler. I have just a few questions left. 2 to go. Why do I ask people questions? It's exciting, it leads to insights, it passes the time. It's a chance to talk. Suppose I should no longer be surprised at your correct answers. Last one. What final words am I saying to you right now? What final words am I saying for you? You got lucky. Thank you. You faked it. You cheated. I must sincerely thank you for your time. This is just wonderful. I thought to use my questions to make friends all over the world. That was my plan as I traveled from kingdom to kingdom. But now, in the end, I'm just so grateful to have met the two of you. Thank you. And we got the last of the Sphinx questions. It's kind of emotional. I'm feeling emotional. Why am I emotional at a Sphinx question? Keep on keeping on, brave traveler and hat who travels with him. And that was the final Sphinx quiz in the entire game. It's really bittersweet because I really like seeing the Sphinx in this game, but we gotta move on. And as you can probably figure, this is the part of the level where I don't care much for the music at all. Because, like, this song did not fit in the Wooded Kingdom even slightly. It fits even less so here. We have a big, grand, epic lava castle we gotta go through on the moon. And it's playing something that sounds like it belongs in a hotel lobby. I'm sorry, this sounds like a hotel lobby song. Probably would have worked in Seaside, but it doesn't work here. Come on, game. Now, this area over here. This is probably considered one of the more difficult parts of the level, but I have a fun way to tease it. Continuously shake the Joy-Con to have Gliden fly even further, and you can skip this entire area. The only thing you really have to worry about are those fuzzy bomb things, but if you have a life up part, you should be fine. The only real concern I would have about this area would be those things, and also the fact that if you're taking a couple attempts to do this, your arms might get tired after a while, but it's not that difficult. And it is possible to get to the very last platform with Glidon and skip the entire rest of this level. I'm not going to do that because I want to demonstrate what you're supposed to do to finish the rest of the level, so let's do it! We can help the Cinderella. And now, for my second magic trick, I am going to activate multiplayer! Now, this might be incredibly cheesy. What you're supposed to do is activate Cappy so that the rings will go off and destroy these fuzzies. I don't like doing that. It requires jumping, and that requires effort, and effort sucks. And I'd rather not do that. So instead, we're gonna do this instead, where we just have Cappy do a murder on all these guys, and this is super satisfying. I know it's kind of dumb and cheesy and stuff, but it's just super satisfying to see this. Alright, so we go over here, this area. What I recommend you do if you want to do the strategy, have Cappy jump on top of here to wipe out this Legion. As if like it's a super dangerous army or whatever. But nah, it's just cute little fuzzies. And this next part is the moment where I struggle with the most. Oh! That disappears! I didn't know that disappeared! Oh no! Oh no! That disappeared! We were doing so well! We were doing so well! Oh no! Back to where we were a moment ago. That took a while. Alright, this is the part where I consider the most difficult of Darker Side. Whatever you do, do not move up on the thumbstick. That's gonna make the Pokio fall off, and it's not gonna be pleasant at all. Also, Pokio. This specific thing right here, this is the part I've been having trouble with, so what I recommend you do is not. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, we might actually be able to do this. We might be able to do this. Okay, come on. Come on. No! Oh my goodness! That stupid part gets me every single time. And normally I really like the Pokios, but I don't know what it is with that specific spot. I just can't get the Pokio to go to the platform in a good spot. It's really annoying me. We're gonna do this and we will live and we will like it. Okay, we might have something here. Let's do this. Okay. We can do this. I believe in us. We have the powers to do anything if we have cookies. I don't have cookies, I have donuts, but that's close enough. This part is so cool. We're basically playing Donkey Kong, but in space. That's awesome. I like that. It's not super difficult or anything, but it's still so cool. Also, like every video walkthrough I've seen over the years, never moves the camera in this area. And I'm genuinely curious if they know you can move the camera there. But that's not important right now. This is the platform you would have appeared if you were able to get gliding to fly all the way over here. So you can skip that entire section. And if I fail again, then I will skip that section because I already showed it off and I don't need more footage of that. That's like my favorite Bowser clip ever. Alright, now this part, I highly recommend you try to have the life up part before you come into this place. Because these boulders, they're going to be a pain. They're going to be a pain in the patootie. So, you want to be careful, wait for the boulders to go by. Because as we all learned from traffic school, boulder-covered pedestrians always have the right of way. Owie, that hurt my feelings. Alright, I don't think I demonstrated this as well either. I don't think I demonstrated this, but you can do like somewhat of a triple jump with Bowser. You couldn't quite see it right there, but Bowser does a different pose when he does the final jump right there. But I believe that's it. I believe that was it. Unless I'm forgetting something, I think that was the last section. Oh, this is gonna be a glorious sight! That's such a good feeling. That is such a good feeling. Whew. Our destination is just up ahead. Ending off our adventure with a capture that started it all. We've come a long way, you and me. We've seen a bunch of different kingdoms. I mean, sure we got shot down and stuff along the way. But think of all the hats. This trip really was amazing. Thank you, Mario. It's been an honor walking a mile on your head. Mario's dead! You got the invisibility hat! So if you were into the closet and you were wondering, wait, hold on a second, I don't have all the costumes, but I can't find the last one. This is the reason why. And with that, we have all the hats, every costume. Every capture, every souvenir, every song, every rank in Luigi's Balloon World. and every Power Moon and Regional coin. There's nothing left in the game. That was everything. We've collected, let's see, 999 Power Moons. Wow, that's amazing! Oh, that reminds me, there's a surprise waiting for you. Let's head to Peach's castle. Alongside the wedding painting that we got the message of before, if we go back to the Mushroom Kingdom after beating Darker Side, Peach's castle gets its own hat! This is kind of like this is kind of an unpopular opinion because I know a lot of people were not too happy that this was the only thing you got for 100% completion, or at least one of the only things, but I think it's awesome! And it totally fits. Like, everything else in the game has a hat. Giving Peach's castle a hat at the end of the game, it's awesome! And something else is pretty neat is that after we activate the Scarecrow... But, where's Harley Quinn? She's the best Batman villain. I already made that joke in a previous episode, but I don't care. Anyway, we can go into the toppy tip of the top hat. And... I thought we could jump that, but no. We have to use the pole. So the hat on this. That is so cool. I love that so much. If they ever do a fireworks show at Super Nintendo World or something like that, I'd love for them to do something like that. I usually don't like fireworks in real life, but that was cute. I really liked that. It was epic and awesome. Heading back into the wedding hall. This painting becomes available after you beat the main story, I believe. I might be wrong about that, but anyway, I've seen this portrait before. ... It's a pretty nice painting. I'll buy it for a nickel. And a nickel will be named Philip. But this painting over here... Oh, what a super scary painting. This one becomes available after 100% completion. If you're still in the wedding hall, you completed Darker Side and everything, but this painting isn't showing up for you, it's possible you might have missed a moon, so just go into this menu and figure out which one you're missing. And also, keep in mind that moons from the shops do not count towards completing missions and things like that, except for the first time you buy one. So just keep that in mind. And because this video never wants to end, let's fight Bowser one more time! That was the saddest way to jump into a painting ever. And I've Let's Played Mario 64, so you think I'd have experience with this.
Whoa, crashing the wedding, Mario? That's tacky, even for you. Also, your outfit isn't halfway fancy enough for this occasion. Not that it matters since you weren't invited. So now it's time for you to make like a bouquet and get out of here.
I'm like 99.8% sure I already made that joke.
Here's your happily ever after.
Alrighty then! We're gonna be facing Bowser one more time. This fight is a little bit more difficult than the first encounter, mostly because he's gonna be firing a bunch of more of those evil fiery boulders. So, yeah. That's gonna make our life a little bit more of an inconvenience, but also your thinking like that is gonna be different. We're definitely not gonna get this first try, but we're gonna at least try to not fail miserably. Watch for the directions user could be throwing those. This one could be thrown back, except we didn't do it correctly. I completely forgot that it kicks you out of the paintings like Mario 64 if you die in those missions. That's pretty funny. Alright, this is the real first attempt, unlike that fake first attempt. Okay. This might not go well either, but we'll keep going for comedic effect, or whatever terminology you want to use. But yeah, the rings are going to be going a lot faster. He's going to be throwing more of the fiery boulders. So that's the thing that you'll want to focus on. Probably don't want to focus too much on, like, punching the breakable boulders anyway, because he's going to... Okay, come on. Ah, you're doing that again! Ah! Okay, this is very different than before. My notes said that it wasn't that different. It probably wasn't even worth mentioning. But I was wrong about that. To be honest, I've never actually done this before. Okay, we can do it. We can do it. You're gonna go like that. And then jump. And then jump. Yee! That's all we have to do, right? Right? No? Alright, I see how it is. If we can get a life up part, that might be helpful. You know, if they really wanted to make this a super epic challenge, they probably could have added moon physics to this as well. But I'm very glad they didn't, because I honestly wasn't that fond of it in the brutal battle. It was an interesting idea, but I didn't particularly like playing through it. Okay, gonna be throwing that, and you're gonna be throwing that. Oh, running away like a little sissy baby. How dare you? I think this is a little faster than it was in the other encounter as well. Might be wrong about that, but that might be the case. I think that is. You're doing that. Okay, come on. Alright. We might be able to do this. We might be able to succeed with our destiny face. Okay, go like that, go like that, and one more time. Ah, you're doing it a 5th time. Oh, that's real. That is a real inconvenience. This background looks super cool. Why does this background look cool? Ah! Okay, we can do it. We can do it, we can do it, we can have the Cinderella. Okay, you're gonna jump away again. Your name's not Jumpman, my name's Jumpman! And jump! And jump! And jump! And we're gonna do this one more time. And jump! And jump! And come on! Ah, you're doing it another time! And jump! And jump! Ah, come on, come on, come on! Woo! That was actually pretty intense! I already praised this fight before, but wow, they made it cooler. How was that even possible? I know how it'd be possible. If you'd make Bowsette canon, like you were originally going to. I'm still salty about that. Dude, I'm not going to die on this part. Showtime. I know I used that clip before, but I still think that every single time that I play through this, and it's kind of a sin that they didn't do that. Okay. Can we do the triple jump here? Yep, okay. That's what I was trying to demonstrate before. You might have seen a little bit of it, but not with that good of a camera angle, but we did it! Alright. Now, the rest of this isn't actually all that different compared to the original encounter. There might be a few differences here and there, but if they are, I would demonstrate them on screen. But for the most part, this is mostly going to be the same, so I don't really feel the need to show it in the entirety. Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Please don't tell me you have to redo the entire thing all over. Thank goodness! I was worried! Oh, I was super duper worried. I was really worried that was going to count as an overall deathly death, and then I have to do the entire fight all over again. I wouldn't mind doing the entire fight all over again, because it's the best Mario boss fight ever. But still, it would have not been a happy gator. I'm never a happy gator, but even more so. I see the outside. We're almost there. So I don't think I really demonstrated this much, but you can breathe fire with Bowser if you shake the Joy-Con, so that's pretty cool. It makes me think of Bowser's Internet story, because like one of my favorite things to do in the entire game is just have Bowser breathe fire, and like he wouldn't even like really be breathing fire in anything specific. I just really like the animation for that, so. It was one of those things where I would just have it go through over and over again. It was especially really funny seeing Bowser go out of breath and things like that. This part is epic, 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 this part is epic. And I have to show this cutscene again because it's the best moment in Mario history.
Gonna start.
And that was Lady Gyardi's Let's Play of Super Mario Odyssey. I mean, at this time it's over. Go home. That's the end of the Let's Play. There's nothing else. Dear God, I hope there's nothing else. I've already had to record like 2 additional recording sessions because I forgot something. But that was Mario Odyssey. This is easily my favorite 3D Mario game, and doing this Let's Play definitely cemented that opinion. I learned something new about this game every single time I play through it. It's just one of those kind of games, and I definitely learned a lot about it more. Even with all the research I did, I still learned a lot more as the Let's Play was ongoing. And I'm sure I'm going to learn more about it as I continue playing this over the years. But this definitely is easily like top 5 favorite Mario games of all time. I go back and forth over whether or not I like this or Super Mario more. But they're both fantastic games, and I just always have a fun time playing through this one. And if I could be serious for a moment, this definitely happened at the best possible time, because 2022 and 2023, they were kind of not great years in my personal life. I'm just gonna say that right now. And there were a lot of days where things were not going well, and it just kind of felt like nothing was going right, and just things like that. So whenever those days would happen, I would sit by my computer and just edit a couple of videos of Odyssey, because I always record these videos on a day where I'm feeling good, and seeing myself in these videos of the upbeat energy, it's always a good reminder that the good days are coming. It's not always apparent, but there are good days ahead. And on another personal note, this was also a game that Mini Beanie and I played through a lot. Like, she never got further than the Metro Kingdom, but playing through this game again recently really brought back a lot of great memories of playing through this game and just seeing the kind of fun things that we do whenever we play through this. And I'm always going to be forever grateful for that. And for all those reasons, and for so much more, this definitely is going to be one of my favorite Let's Plays in the channel's history. So thank you all so much for watching Super Mario Odyssey. Until next time, Lady Gear to you.
Thank you so much for playing my game.